Hey, good morning, guys. It's Coffee with Shanda with Shanda. Coffee with Shanda with Shanda. Hey, I want to talk to you about something that's been startling that I have realized lately, and that is that I was reading a blog on Medium.com yesterday, and on that blog it was talking about how this woman opened up a flower shop in San Francisco, and how she literally opens up this flower shop. And then get this, she basically had something like, I'm just going by memory from last night because it was late. My mind, do you ever know like when like it's like the middle of the night and your mind starts like just rolling through information that just keeps you up and it's exciting? Well, last night, because Zone Event's coming up, it was like all of this information was being like downloaded to me to look up, and I started looking it up. And it was so fascinating to get some of the results that I actually saw. So I'm reading this blog, and it talks about this woman in San Francisco who opened up a flower shop, and she had a little bit, well, for some people it's a lot of money in her bank account. It was something like $43,000 in her bank account, $48,000 in her bank account. And then what she did was she like basically used that money and she invested in her business, because it does take money to make money. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're completely broke and you want to be an entrepreneur, which I had that situation, a story like that. That was part of my story. And you're got to get resourceful to figure out how to make the money, to be able to pay people, to be able to get the education, to be able to build a business. No different than you have to, if you want to be a surgeon, a doctor, you got to find the money to go to college or university. And some people stop and say, oh, I don't have the money to go to college or university, and they just don't ever do it, where there's like funding out there. There's like, loans that they can get. Well, I've got bad credit. Well, then you can go out there and like a woman actually went and cleaned houses. A single mom went and cleaned houses to be able to afford coaching with me this year. And she's one of our major success stories of somebody who not only did what it took to be able to build herself as an entrepreneur, but she made the money, like way more money than if she would have sat there as a victim, like, I don't have it, I can't go and train or get an education. So I don't care if it's university or it's, or it's a mentor or it's to get money to hire somebody inside your company. You're going to have to get resourceful to be able to be an entrepreneur. If you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, the deal is that you got to practice problem solving along the way and get really good at it. If you can get really good at it, then you have a promising freedom lifestyle as an entrepreneur. That's kind of the prerequisite to be able to be successful as an entrepreneur. So with that being said, back to this blog. So I'm reading this blog, I'm like, wow, so this woman has $40-something thousand in her bank account. She starts a flower company, and then literally she goes to 100 venture capitalists. So 100 bankers, 100 people to be able to invest in her business. Now this is obviously a very motivated woman, because I can tell you many people that I've seen at events that I'll literally teach them how to create the result in their business, and then they'll stand there and say, oh, that sounds amazing, but I don't have the money to hire a virtual assistant, or I don't. And it's back to my original scenario, like, okay, if you sit there with that mindset, then you're never going to solve a problem. I guarantee I can go back in your life and find all these other areas, like I don't have support at home, like I don't eat healthy, like I don't have my health, like, and there's just like a cascade of I don'ts. And that comes from a thought process that you have, like as if failure in the past really means failure in the future. It doesn't. You can change all of that. That's what education does. It changes that for us. So long story short, this woman, her first year in business does $50-something thousand, which is great, right? So she makes more money. She turns a profit. Her second year in business, which is always an eye-opener to me, because I don't know why entrepreneurs feel like in 1 year they're supposed to just like crush it. Some of them do, but like it's still not to the level that they could do. It's all relative, right? Like whatever somebody does in a year is all relative to their energy, their mindset, how resourceful they are, the community that they spend their time with. That all of those pieces, play a role. Like if you're building a business on your own and you're comparing yourself against like a person who's inside a community, then you can't even compare, because it's not apples to apples. Your emotional environment and educational environment is much different. So you got to keep all that in mind. So the second year in business, this woman goes and does like 270 something thousand. That's incredible. Like she could get on the Inc. list for that. The Inc. 500 and Inc. 5000 list actually rates companies on what is the percentage growth that they've had in a year and in 3 years, right? So it's actually in a 3-year period. And the reason why they look at 3 years is because the banks, Inc., anybody, an entrepreneur, anybody who understands analytics doesn't take the success of a business off 1 year. They look at it over 3 years, right? And so like, who is this person running this vision over the last 3 years? And really, I would even dumb it down even more so and say, what are the habits? This is why like your habits are everything. What are the habits of the individual over the last 3 years? Because your habits dictate your actions and your actions dictate your results. So I'll say that again. Your habits dictate your actions and your actions dictate your results, which then impacts your money. And so that's how they look at it on the Inc. list. And so this woman does 50 something thousand her first year opening her flower shop. She has 270 something thousand her second year opening up the flower shop, which is awesome. But the third year, she does just shy of $1 million. Well, I mean, I can tell you it's doable. I'm not giving an income claim. I'm not saying that that's what you're going to do. In fact, most people won't do it because they sit on the fence and still say, I have no money to invest, or I don't have credit to get a loan, or I made a rule with myself that I'm never going to invest again. I'm like ladies, men, like you're just creating rules that are just really messing up your life. Like, I don't care if you've borrowed money and failed in the past or started a program and didn't finish. Like, none of that's relevant. You can't win a race by looking at what you did in the past. It's like, dust off the shoulders, just like you tell your kids, and be the individual that is in integrity with the advice you give to our kids, and you get back up and you do it again, right? So this woman does just shy of $1 million on her third year, and what was shocking to me, and honestly, it just blew my mind, is that she went to 100 people, 100 venture capitalists to get money for her business because she was wildly committed. She was going to put her ass on the line to build her dream. She knew she had something. She didn't know if it would work, but she knew she had something, so she went after it. And they all denied her. Another company opens up, and this is not about men versus women, by the way, because I actually am not an activist, and I'm not an angry activist at all. And so, but a man went, and a guy opened up a very similar company. And in fact, you could look at her website and theirs, and he did what Russell Brunson calls funnel hacking, right? So they basically hacked her website, which is just called good business, right? Doesn't mean copying. It means you look at who's doing it and it's working. Whenever somebody comes to me and says, I've got this new idea, I'm like, oh shit, where's the proof on this somewhere, right? Like where has some of this been done before that you're innovating? Okay. And so literally this guy opens up another flower shop, same city, everything, gets funding. And I'll tell you, as a business owner standing in front of you today, if I had more money right now, I could grow faster. If I gave you an extra, $10,000 this month, you could grow faster. But the truth is that a lot of times we don't know how to get that unless we create it. And what I do is I teach entrepreneurs how to bootstrap and create their own cash. And so I've been able to fund my own business, and I've been able to fund how a lot of other people fund their own business, become millionaires, literally by learning our methodologies, the methodologies that I'm teaching at the Zone event, right? Which the room is like pretty much at full capacity. We're going to go out to military wives at some of the bases right now and offer some tickets for them to come so that we can generously give them a leg up to be able to get educated. If you're watching this, you can still go to thezoneevent.com and you can get a ticket. But I was rolling last night in my bed thinking about like all the people who have a vision and a dream that we're going to set free at this event. And I was messaging my clients about some of the work that's happening from the stage and how we're literally setting people free. But what was startling with this article that I read last night, that I really believe was God driven, that fired me up even more to make a difference for you. I'm going in my office in a couple minutes, and I'm literally going to be continuing to up level some of the content because I want you to have some stats on really what's happening in the world, because we're so busy putting our head down trying to grow that we're not realizing what's happening with the economy, what's happening with education, what's happening with even education around like going to university, like what's happening with these things, what's happening to the world of mentorship, what's happening to small businesses. See, I have all that information up here, but I don't necessarily always teach it because I just don't teach it. I'm so busy teaching the formulas. It doesn't dawn on me that people are not in there reading this material and learning their education, like your self-directed education on their own, because maybe you're just not interested or don't think like that, but I do. So I'm going to bring it, like I'm going to tell you there is a window right now. And I hope to God you're at the Zone event, because there is a window right now. And that window is critical for you to step into and build, like really build. If you've been procrastinating or you've been failing forward or whatever that looks like, if you've been succeeding, it's time to amp everything up to the next level, because there's a window. There is a cash flow window that you want to be a part of. It's kind of like when the real estate market goes down and before it goes back up, there's like a window in entrepreneurship that I want to show you how to create, which I can't do on a live like this. You need to come spend 3 days with me at the Zone event. But here's what happened with the man that opened up a flower shop. He got funding and he did over $20 million. $20 million. And he got funding. And she couldn't get any funding. And their business looked exactly what their site and everything looked exactly the same as her. And she created a method of delivering flowers to your home that was really unique. So this isn't a bad story. This is a story that happens all the time. How many times have you had a vision or an idea and then you saw it come to market somewhere else? Or how many times have you been working on something and then all of a sudden you see somebody else, that maybe went through a program of yours, all of a sudden teaching similar stuff, right? So this stuff happens all the time. I'm not saying it's right, but it happens. And so it's like, choose the battle you want to fight. You want to choose the right battle, which is the battle of you optimizing your life, which is the battle of you getting out of your own way, which is the battle and the winning, the success of you running your own race and creating the results that you want, which is your legacy. You see, my friend Chris Smith, who streams on here a lot, said to me, called me a few weeks ago, he goes, really what it's about is that people are like thinking they're saving, they're putting savings in an account to pass on to their kids. But the truth is that you're creating your kids right now because you're living your legacy right now. You're creating like the story that people are going to say about you right now because you're living it. The way you react to a problem is your legacy. The way you handle a hard situation is your legacy. The way you light up when things make you happy is your legacy. And that you're actually living that legacy right now. You're not building it for someday to step into it. You're actually doing it right now. That's the whole theme of what we're talking about at the Zone event this year. And it's in 10 days, 10, 11 days. I can't wait to take the stage. It's going to be the best event we've ever done. But here's what I got to say, is that you can't just worry about having a great product or going out there and just delivering something great and saving your money and, building like minute by minute. You need to explode, right? And you also need to know how to fund your business. And so that's what we're going to be teaching. We're literally going to be teaching that at the Zone event. Now, some of my clients know pieces of this, but there's a new awareness that is coming out right now, and it just dawned on me. Have you ever been so good at something that when you're sharing it with people like ask you more questions, it didn't dawn on you to ever teach it? I'm having a moment like that in my education of an entrepreneur, my education as a trainer, as an education as a mentor, and just as a good human being, learning how to get better just like you to be able to help people get that edge to that next level. So I have literally been tossing all night because I'm so excited. That's the best place to live from. I love that. And that's what I hope for every single one of us. Every moment that we spend in entrepreneurship, that we just are fired up about solving that next level problem that's going to get you that much closer to changing the world and leaving your legacy and your impact, not just to your clients, but also to the people who watch you. Let me show you how to put platforms underneath you. Let me show you how to reach millions of people. Let me show you how to be the influencer and the business owner or the face behind the business, whatever you want it to be, that you've always known you could be. Let me show you how to do it. It's not brain surgery. It's simpler than you think. I'm a college dropout, dyslexic, a little bit dyslexic, not bad, but a little bit dyslexic, and was told that I was dumb and I was stupid when I was really young by my mom's boyfriend for many, many years. Meaning, the only reason why I share this with you is that, like, listen, I've made mistakes where I've done drugs in the past, when I used to run nightclubs. I mean, nobody's perfect here. So whatever story you're telling inside your head, that the reason why, or the self-doubt, or the insecurity that you can't in any way be as big as you think you can, right? My experience is people love to create amazing goals and dreams on a piece of paper. But then when I give you the ticket to be able to create the result, you say, I can't get to the zone event. I can't find childcare. I can't find tickets. Somebody told me last night, I'm coming, but I can't find tickets. I'm like, are you kidding me? Can't find tickets. You can get an airline, a railroad car, hitchhike. There's always a way. Right? Like, it's about being resourceful. When the ticket gets put in front of you, what happens is when you know that your dream can become a reality, that's when the fear sets in. And that fear was drilled into you at a very young age. It came from somewhere. You didn't just create it. It definitely didn't come from God, right? And so where did it come from? I don't really care where it came from. What I care about, what I really care about, is unhooking you from that. So you guys who are coming to the Zone event, I promise you this will be the best event that not only I have ever put on, but probably the best event. I would be as bold to say the best event you've ever been to for entrepreneur. You've never seen people be this generous on a stage and give you this much content and not bait and switch you to anything. And there's always an opportunity to mentor with me at my events. There's nothing hidden in that, but there's no bait and switch to get you to do anything. It is pure love, pure generosity, and pure entrepreneurship, the way that it should be. All right, you guys, I'll see you soon. Please, share this with somebody if they need to hear this. And please make sure that you're at the Zone event this year. I promise you, I cannot replicate what's happening on that stage. And there's a window right now. You need to get into it. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.